Beautiful if it wasn't causing so many problems. Nashville Electric Service showing what they're up against as they work to restore power following this weekend's monstrous storm. Now, this is in the suburbs of Nashville. Crews say so far they have replaced more than 200 broken poles with more than 740 line workers in the field. Across the South, the impact of the storm is still being felt, with more than 500,000 folks still without electricity at last report.
With a check of your forecast, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Heilman, and taking a look at what we can expect as we head into the weekend, because another low pressure system, possibly a winter storm, developing towards the east coast as we head Friday and into the weekend. Starting out 9 a.m. on Friday, notice some of that snowfall possible in Kentucky, as well as some of this energy, this rain down to the south, joining up as we get into Saturday morning, and then becoming a low pressure system that looks rather impressive with this early data that we are seeing headed into Saturday, bringing that snowfall. The best news we see here is that a large portion of this, and it seems like likely the center, would be over the ocean, so possibly impacting less of the U.S. than we expected earlier in the week with some of that earlier data that we were seeing. Now, then transferring up towards the northeastern portions of the United States, but again, the center of it still over the ocean. That is the best news, but definitely going to bring some impacts with that snowfall for areas of the East Coast, and the worst of it as we time out this snowfall estimate, actually expected to be in some slightly more southern areas than typical with this snowfall. North Carolina likely looking like it'll see the worst of it, into Virginia, possibly down into South Carolina as well, and then up into the northeast as well as it tracks more northerly later in that forecast. Precipitation outlook for the 1st through the 5th of February. Starting out your February, drier than normal for most of the United States outside of some northern areas, very northern areas, and very southern portions, including much of Texas down there. And in temperature outlook for that same time period, diagonally cutting the United States in half, cooler than normal for much of the southeast, and then warmer than normal for much of the northwest. Hancock, New York, high of 18, low of 3 degrees. Monroeville, Alabama, high of 53 with a low of 26. Grant, New Mexico, high of 55 with a low of 20 degrees.